Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good afternoon. Let me introduce myself. My name is Indah Nur Annisa. I'm from University of Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Yogyakarta. And now I will explain about my article. The title of article is Implementation of Team Games Tournament Digital Learning to Improve Interest and Learning Outcome of Class 3, Term 8, Elementary School in Yogyakarta, academic year 2022-2023. The reason I took this title in my research was then when I made initial observation at school during practical field experience too. I found the teachers' teaching activities didn't attract student attention. The teachers speak more often and students continue to work on question as usual. This caused interest in learning students are low. It was proven that the students were not focused and didn't pay attention to the teacher's explanation. Class conditions were not conducive. Many students were busy with their own activity. Therefore, from several problems, I analyzed to change the learning model from teacher-centered to student-centered with the team game tournament model. Next part is method. The research subject in this study were grade 3 students at elementary school in Yogyakarta. There are 29 students in the class, consists 12 male students and 17 female students. The research variable is dependent variable is interest and learning outcome, and the independent variable is the team games tournament learning model. Then the study used collaborative classroom action research. Data analysis technique, analyzing the result of questionnaire and learning outcome. Then the research instrument is test and questionnaire. The data collection consists of test, questionnaire, and the documentation. The research model used the Chemist and McTaggart model. This is an overview of the research Chemist and McTaggart model. Start from planning activities, then action, observation, and then reflection, and so on until the expected results are achieved. This study conducted two cycles, is cycle 1 and cycle 2. Next, I will explain about the result of the research. In the table on the left, from the result of research on learning interest, it is known that there are no students who have very good interest. As many as 4 children, 14% had a good interest in learning. Then there were 18 students, 62% with sufficient criteria of interest, while the number of students who were less interested was 7 children, 24%. Based on this result, it said that student interest is better than pre-cycle. Some students have sufficient interest with an average percentage in cycle 1 is 41%. Next, we move to table on the right. From the result on research, is known that students who have good interest are 20 children, 69%, while students who have very good interest are 9 children, 31%. Based on the result, it is said that student interest has increased significantly compared to learning interest in cycle 1. Most students have good interest with an average percentage of interest in cycle 2 is 72%. This is the chart based on the analysis of the questionnaire, and there was an increase in student interest learning using the model of TGT. In the pre-cycle, the presentation of students' learning interest was 26%, which means it was in the sufficient category. After the first cycle action using TGT, there was an increase with a presentation of 41%, which was classified as good criteria. Then the reflection of cycle 1 was carried out with improvement to making worthwhile as a means of tournament. From the cycle 2, there was an increase in presentation of the interest in learning to 62% with a good criteria. The analysis of learning outcome in pre-cycle, students who didn't complete were quite high and the average was 65.8, while in the cycle 1 it improved to 75.8, and in the cycle 2 it improved to 83.1. Okay, this is chart from learning outcome, and the result of the analysis carried out in each cycle show an increase in student learning outcome through the TKT model. From the result of the reflection in cycle 1, improvements were made to cycle 2, so that student learning outcome increased by an average of 83.1 with a percentage of 83%. Okay, this is the final page and the presentation is conclusion. Okay, based on the result of the research, the implementation of learning in class 3 can be concluded that using team games tournament model is proven to improve student interest and learning outcome. There was a significant increase from pre-cycle to cycle 2. Interest in student learning, it can be seen that percentage of student learning interest from cycle 1 was 41%, which is increased in cycle 2 with a percentage of 72%. Student learning outcome where classical mastery in cycle 1 was 66% and increase in cycle 2 83%, with an average of cycle 1 is 75.8 and 83.1 in cycle 2. Okay, thank you for listening my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.